Hello, hello. Welcome, guys, to Email Marketing Masterclass. This is the first week of a 5-week series. So, a lot of really good information. Today, it's going to be about how to build your email list. So, we'll be sharing some different ideas of how to do that because you definitely want to have a strong email list. And I'll get into the reasons why later if you haven't heard me say it a million times already. So the way we'll do this, there is a chat box. If you've got questions while I'm going through the presentation, please just use the chat box to ask any questions that you have. At the end, it'll be open, so feel free to ask anything at the end and we can go a little bit more live. I'll promise I'm going to answer your questions. So to get started, I am Deanna, as you guys know. And I just want to say welcome to the Entrepreneur Society. We just recently changed the name, and there's a lot of good things happening within this group. And I'm so excited about all the different things that are going to be happening in here. So just want to say hello and welcome. And I'm just very thankful for each of you. So thank you for being part of it. So let's talk email right now. Today, it's going to be just the basics, nothing that, it's probably going to be the things that are kind of common sense, but you just don't think about it. Do you ever have those aha moments when it's like, oh yeah, like I totally get that. Why am I not doing that? That is what I think about this email. This first workshop for the week. So there's going to be some different ideas, probably things you've seen a million times, but you never really thought about it. So added this quote in here to start, and it says, email is nearly 40 times more effective, did I put than Facebook and Twitter combined in helping your business acquire new customers. This was a study that was done. Feel free to look up a lot of different facts if you want to. I've been sharing some facts in the Entrepreneur Society. And basically, email is it. And I don't know. I think it's really important that you guys do email. If you are not doing it, make sure that you start. If you don't have an email list right now, please make sure that you start building it, and hopefully this will help you get started. So I am just gonna, let's see here. I'm gonna mute some of you guys just so we are all good. Let me turn off. All right. Okay, so here's some facts about email. Now, I want to talk about my personal study because I will tell you that, I mean, I've always have known email was there. I've used email for years, but I haven't really used it in the best way. I've only used it like, it just hasn't been any consistency, to be honest with you. I haven't used it the way I should be using it. In January, though, probably the end of last year, a little bit before January, the end of last year, I wanted to do my own study because I was pretty much fed up with social media. Now, I know we need to be on social media, so this isn't me saying you need to bail Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Pinterest or LinkedIn or any of those. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that there's a level of frustration because we don't have as much control as I'd like to have. Maybe that's because I'm a control freak. I don't really know, but we just don't have that control, and they keep changing the rules. So I was totally frustrated. I started looking at a couple different things and just kind of testing it myself to see how it worked. One of those things is email, right? Because I'm always trying to find ways that are cost effective, where I'm not going to invest a ton of money into anything, because I don't honestly believe you always have to invest a ton of money. There are some places where the more money you can invest is better, but it's not, there are ways around it, because let's be real, people have been building their businesses before social media, before all this stuff. And so there are some ways to really grow it when it comes to just like grassroots, right? So I started with email, and I started coming up with different campaigns, a variety of different campaigns, and I wanted to see how they did. And I will tell you that every email that I send out to my general email list, so far, each email has given me 2 new leads, which may not sound like a lot, but it really is, because I know if I send an email out and I know if I'm asking for something that I'm going to get some more leads. Somebody's going to reach out to me, and 2 people are going to want a proposal. 2 people are going to want to work with me on some level. So I definitely see a benefit for email, right? And I've been nurturing these relationships. I've been doing it now for 6 months. Well, I've been doing it a little bit longer, but 6 months really, really focusing in. And the relationships that are being built are unique, right? I'm able to nurture those. So the people that I don't really know who've signed up have either reached out to me, or I see them popping up and liking my Facebook page, or following me on Instagram. And it's not happening immediately. It's not like send one email and you're good to go. This is being consistent and nurturing it. And later in the month, we are going to be talking about automated emails. So I'm going to actually give you the layout of how to write these emails to nurture those relationships. But those are just basically like my own study. I can tell you that it works, right? And I don't like talking about things unless I know. Now, email is the second most used marketing tool after your website. And I have said this before, but if you are a business, you definitely need a website. Facebook is not your website. Facebook can go away at any time. Facebook can change the rules. If you are counting on Facebook to have your website and they decide, either they go down or they decide to no longer exist, or the government decides to make them no longer exist, how are your clients going to find you? How are you going to find your clients? So you need to have a website, and you need to start building that email database. The emails right after that website, those are both prime real estate. You own it. You are not renting it. It's not something that can go away. It is something that you have and that you can nurture and that you can make into something even bigger and grow your business. 49% consumers say they want to receive promotional emails from their favorite retailers at least one time a week. So a lot of times people ask, how often should I email? And it really depends. I always encourage people to do a little testing to see how their open rates, their click rates, how they're working. You don't want to totally spam your customers. You don't want to bombard them with a ton of emails. So everything is a little bit different, but they're saying one time a week, if this is your favorite retailer, you like getting those emails. And I can attest to that. Like, I don't like spammy emails, but I will tell there are some places that I shop, especially now that I am in Montana and they don't have all the stores that I'm used to shopping in Ohio, that I look forward to those emails now, because I want to know what the promos are, what's new, what's coming in, so that I can place an order or, wait for something, whatever big sale is happening. So once a week, 49% say they want to receive those promotional emails. Again, your demographic, your clients may be a little bit different. Test it out to see if it's once a week, every other week, once a month, whatever. Just find out what yours is. Running segmented campaigns can increase revenue by as much as 760%. So we're going to talk about this also in the beginning of the month. We're going to be talking about or I'm sorry, I think it's maybe week 3, how to create segmented, make segments in your campaigns with your contacts. This is going to be a really big deal because when you do this, you're going to know how to target each segment, right? You're going to segment them based by personas, buying personas, or demographics, right? Personas are a little bit different than who your demographic is. Your demographic might be a man or a woman between this age living in this area. Personas might be, hey, this is like another baseball mom, right? So I know that this group is out and this is my baseball mom. These are my entrepreneur society girls. These are my sassy girls, right? I know how to divide them. And we're going to go by personas. And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the next couple weeks. But by creating these segments, you can increase your revenue because now you're talking directly to them, right? You're really tailoring those newsletters and those emails to them. So now we're going to start building your list, right? We want to build a list that's totally out of this world. We want to have the right people in our list. We want to make sure that it works, and we want to obviously grow our business. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. There is a good list and a bad list, right? It almost sounds like the good witch and the bad witch, right, from the Wizard of Oz. But there is a way to have a good list and there's a way to have a bad list. So I'm going to explain the difference because we don't want a bad list, right? A good list. This is so black and white, cut and dry, right? People give you consent to send them emails. So this is basically that I've said, yes, you know what? I do want to get your emails. I do want that promotional material. Sign me up. I've gone to your website and signed up. I've given you my name and I said, yes, I want to be part of your mailing list. This is a good list. You know that if they're on this list, that they are now interested in what your product is or what your service is. A bad list is just the opposite. People don't give you their consent, right? And the reason I'm bringing this up is I hear it all the time, and then I kind of haven't heard it for a while. And I just recently was speaking to a client, and a question that she had asked was her friend had told her that she should really buy a third-party list of emails so that she can start marketing to those email customers. So here's my response to that. Don't do it. Yes, people do it. Yes, you will have other agencies that will tell you this is a great idea because you're going to get all these emails and they're going to be your demographic. And, as you send out your emails, you're kind of scrub that list. And the reality is it's just bad. I mean, the reason that it's bad is I'll tell you. One is that it may not be your demographic. They're selling you that it's going to be, but it may not be, right? So it may not be your audience that would even purchase your product. It's just a list of names. Second, these people haven't even given their consent. So you are kind of likely to annoy them. I mean, how do you feel? I get emails in my inbox and I'm like, I don't even have an interest in this business. I don't know how they got my email. Sometimes I can guess how they got my email. Why are they emailing me? Like, it feels kind of invasive. Like, get out of my email box. Like, you were not invited. I didn't give you a key, so leave. And it kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth, right? You don't want to do this. The other reason is, and there are laws that have not really been implemented here in the United States yet, but they are being implemented in other countries, and it's going to be a hot minute and they're going to be here. So we might as well get used to it. But there are laws that are in place that you're not allowed to. Now, if I purchased a list, a third-party list, and I sent out my email to everybody on that list, they can report me as spam. If you get a certain percentage, which is kind of high, but not all that high if you're doing something like this, and that percentage will trigger and say, okay, this is a spammer. Now you're kind of blackballed from sending out those emails. So you have hurt yourself. So it's not worth it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get blackballed. And they're going to unsubscribe. You're emailing nobody. You really don't have a good gauge on what these people are really interested in because you've bought them. So do not do this. Do it authentically. It might take a little bit more time than building the list, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. Okay, so really basic things, right? First thing is ask for the email. And it may be really surprising, it is to me, that people just forget to ask. I don't know why. Again, I was speaking with a different client and we were talking about email, and her response was very common from what I hear all the time. Oh no, you know what? I don't have really an email list. I haven't set it up. I'm like, why not? They're like, well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I haven't asked for it. I'm like, well, you need to ask for the emails. And it was almost kind of uncomfortable. And I'm not really sure why. And I'm not really sure if she knows why, but it was like, okay, I'll start asking for them. And she did. And it wasn't as scary as she thought. So how are some easy ways to ask for it, right? If on your website, you can have a sign up where people can just easily log on and sign up for your newsletter or your email list or however you want to word it. You can also do a website pop-up. Now, sometimes people don't want to do a pop-up. My site does have a pop-up on TianaFasillo.com. I do use a pop-up. It's entirely up to you if you want to or not to. I personally like them. They don't bother me. I'm used to them, seeing them on other websites. But it's up to you. That's just another way. And for me, it's a reminder like, hey, don't forget, sign up. Sign up for my newsletter and hear more about me. On their Facebook page, right, you can set that up and connect your whatever email that you're using, whatever platform, whether you're using MailChimp or Constant Contact, and there's a million others out there, but those seem to be the two most common that I hear the most about. Connect it with your Facebook page so that people can sign up. Do it on your Instagram page. Now, you may say, well, wait a minute, how do you ask somebody to sign up on your Instagram page? So the answer is you can't really, technically you could have a link because you're allowed to put one link on Instagram. And you could have that link go to your sign up page so that they can sign up there. And you can just promote it in your stories or on your posts to sign up. You can also, in that one link that has your email link, you can put, I use an app, it's called Linktree. And it allows me to put multiple websites, URLs in there. So when they click on that, it goes to a pop-up that lets them select where they want to go. You can do it there. Another place is your email signature. At the very bottom, just put it on there. People will see it, right? They're going to see it over and over as you continue to email them. And then events, right? So whether you are having an in-person event, you're at a trade show, whether you're hosting a webinar or doing something online. If you're hosting a webinar, it's a little bit easier because they're signing up and they're using their email address to register for the event. At an in-person event, if it's at your store or a trade show or just a workshop that you're having in person, then you would have to ask them to sign up. And a lot of times there's a sign-up sheet that goes around, or there's something up by the register that has a sign-up, or sometimes there will be some sort of contest or something they can win if they sign up at a trade show. But these are the ways, very simple, not a lot of work, just ask for the email. So how do we grow our list, right? Couple different ways. The first ways we're going to talk about are basically within that email. First and foremost, you've got to create amazing content, right? So when you're sending out those emails, you want to give people a reason where they want to read it and they want to share it. So you want to make sure that you're really bringing value. If every email that you send out is just about selling your product or your service, people are not going to be always interested, right? Now, unless you're looking at promos. Like I said, I love getting mine because I like knowing what's going on sale. that's a little bit different. They're letting me know. But if I sent out email after email and I just said, join my program, but I didn't bring them any value, or I didn't give them a reason to want to, then why would they? They're not going to. So create amazing content. Tell them, and, talk to them about what makes this so great. Give them a checklist, things to think about, things to do. If you blog, include your blog in there, or feature different things, what you're doing in your community, whatever it is, but bring value. Give them a reason that they want to read it, they want to share it. The next thing is that you want to encourage your subscribers to already share their emails, right? So you can include something in that email that says forward to a friend, so that they send it off to a friend. If you do that, give them something in there that their friend might want to know too, right? So maybe whatever it is. I mean, your subscribers are already your customers. They're already saying, hey, I'm interested. So to find a way to convert them into being your marketing army is ultimately the goal, right? Because let them do the work for you. Let them share. Let them talk about how awesome you are. So give them a reason to want to do that. And putting that little forward to a friend button in there just gives them a nudge, right? Because I always say we need to include call to actions, because we don't know what to do unless you tell us. So don't ever think, well, that's kind of redundant, because I've already, they should know that that's what I want. They should know that I want them to buy. They should know that I want them to sign up. They should, you're right, but they don't unless you tell them. So give them that extra nudge and make it easy for them. You can also create a lead gen offer and offer either white papers or discounts. So what is white papers? What does that mean? So what that means is that you may get a checklist, like I mentioned earlier. You may, sometimes I have a lead gen offer where I'll create a landing page and I talk about downloading my content calendar, or maybe my 6 tips for mompreneurs. And when they go to download it, they're prompted to give me their email. So in exchange for this free information, I'm getting their email. So you can provide them with tips or tools, a video. You can also provide them with a discount if you want. I see this a lot when I shop online, right? Sign up for an emails and get 25% off your first purchase. So you can do this. This is a lead gen offer. So that's what that means. You can offer free tools, right? Which is kind of goes in the same thing. The lead gen offer is where you have a landing page and you're really trying, maybe you run an ad with it where you're trying to get that. On my site, those 2 things that I mentioned, they are actually free tools, and you can download those right from my website. They're always there, but you're going to have to put your email address in order to get them. So you can do something like that as well on your website to get those emails. You can use an old email list that you have, okay? Now, if you are going to do this, make sure that when you send them an email, that you include in that you're asking them to opt in, so that they have to click something to opt in, and make them the promise that if they don't respond, they're going to be removed, right? And you can schedule that to maybe go out one time, and then maybe 4 days later. So let them tell you if they're interested and opt into it. And if they're not, if they don't respond, if they don't open it, then just remove it and put it away, right? But let the people who are already saying that they're interested in it resubscribe to that. So you can do that. You can create bonus content, right? So if there's something really cool, something that, like, a lot of times we're giving away free content because you want to bring value. So you want to talk about different things. If you've got a product and you're talking, or a service, let's say if you have a service, right? And I've got something that's a bonus that is really big, it's a big deal. Maybe I take this workshop and I repurpose it, and then this is my bonus content, right? We are going to you get this video for free, but I need your email address pretty much. So create bonus content that you can also give out. So how do you grow your list using social media? Because I know we're all on social media, or we should be. And we can use social media hand in hand with growing our email list. So one thing we can do is host a contest, right? So we can encourage people to sign up. If they want to enter our contest, whatever that may be, then they can sign up and they're entered into the contest, and now we have their email list or their email so that we can market to them. Again, you can promote your offer on social media. We talked about the lead gen offer discount. I shared with you that sometimes I'll run an ad on those landing pages. I'll run a Facebook ad. You don't have to run an ad if you don't want to. You could just simply share it on your Facebook page. But if you want to create it as an ad and target, then you can do that as well. Add a call to action. CTA, if I use CTA, sometimes it means call to action on your page. And I mentioned this earlier. At the very top of your Facebook page, you have a call to action button. This is what you really want people to do. So you connect your your platform and your Facebook page together, and then you can encourage them. Sometimes you can, if you're really running a campaign to grow that email list, your cover photo on your Facebook page, you can simply put in an arrow that points down to the button. Now, if you are going to do that, then I encourage you to look at it not only on your desktop, but also look at it on your mobile device to make sure that that arrow really lines up the way you want it to. But you can do that as well, so that it's telling people as soon as they go to the page, they're following that arrow and they're looking down and they're seeing what that button is. And on that button, if it's saying subscribe, you know, then okay, but you've got to give them a reason of what they're going to get. Why should they subscribe? So let them know in that cover photo. My gosh, I have a ton of typos. I really need to fix this. Promote, oh, this one's not. I was going to say you're great, but this is actually spelled right. Promote your gated offer on Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So sometimes we talk about just Facebook. I know I fall in the habit of only talking about Facebook because it's the people's platform. That's where the majority of people are. But it's not just on Facebook, right? There's also LinkedIn. So you can, on LinkedIn, create a blog and share that and direct them back to subscribe to your email list. And then there's Pinterest. Pinterest is a huge missed platform. I mean, if you are marketing to women in my age, right? My age group, mid to high income, they are on Pinterest. They're actively on Pinterest. Create that ad promotion or whatever you want to do, those white papers, put that on Pinterest and link it, and then have that link back to your website so that they can subscribe to that. You can add your blogs on Pinterest, and again, right, always promote that if they want more information, they can sign up for that. If you are on YouTube, you can add an end card to your videos, right? So the end card is the very last card that goes on your YouTube video. You don't have to have that on there, but YouTube makes it really easy to add it. In that section, you can put a link to subscribe, right? So make sure you're doing that. So again, you're building that email list. Now on your website, you can also grow, right? So if you have a blog, if you are blogging, then you create, when you're blogging, you can encourage readers to subscribe to your blog so that now you're collecting your email list and now they're able to get your blog when they register. And again, you've got that email. You can also be a guest on other bloggers, other bloggers on another website, right? So if you are, for example, if I want to blog about social media, I may go and blog on somebody else's site, be a guest blogger, talk about social media. But in my blog post that I'm giving to them, I'm including a call to action, and that's to come back to my website to register for my email, or maybe, hey, you can download that free content calendar that I've just explained how beneficial it is for your social strategy plan. So download it here. Now that link will take them to my website, will encourage them to download that content calendar, and now they've got to put their email in. So be a guest blogger for somebody else. And then also include like reviews and landing pages on your site. So if you do sell a product, ask them to leave a review. I know that there are a lot of platforms out there that it automatically, once somebody purchases a product on your site, you can automate an email that goes out maybe 10 days or a week after they purchased it and said, hey, can you give us a review? Did you like that product? Tell us what you think. When they come back to review it, hopefully it's a great review. So now it helps as far as when other people are trying to decide whether or not to purchase that product. But now you've also captured that email address and you can nurture that relationship that way. Another thing you can do is working together, right? So create a co-marketing effort. I just recently saw this. It went on in Hubbard with the Shop Small Hubbard, and Hubbard seems to be really working together to really, everybody's coming together. They're co-marketing. They're really talking up their community. They're talking up their small businesses. They are doing an amazing job of co-marketing, right? They're coming up with a game plan and everybody is supporting everybody. And they are, they're seeing a lot of traction because of it. They're getting a lot of media attention. They're getting more foot traffic to their area, to an area that typically may not have always gotten as much foot traffic, right? Hubbard, Ohio is a little bit off the beaten path. And this group of small business owners are doing an amazing job of co-marketing and working together to really hype up everything that they have to offer. So this is something else you can do, and pay attention to them if you haven't seen it. So basically, email is here to stay, guys. Many apps and tools have come and gone, but email has not. It has been here and it's continuing to grow your business. So you need to hop on the email bandwagon. I don't know if it's really a bandwagon, but you need, if you haven't been serious about it before, I am telling you, now is the time to get serious about it. It's going to help. So the very last slide before we go into the chat, it's let's work together. Just to let you know that I have recently, beginning of the year, became a Constant Contact partner. So I was with another platform that I used for years, and it wasn't until my email list started to get a little bit bigger that that platform got kind of glitchy on me, and I needed to find some other options. I tested out a variety of options. Constant Contact was it for me. I wish I had started there because it's hard to leave a platform once you kind of get all these different templates and emails. You kind of have to start over. I wish I had started there, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So, and that's okay. I'm there now. They have a ton of things that I like. One of the things that I'll share with you that I like that Constant Contact does that my other platform did not is when I send out an email to somebody, it looks like it's coming directly from me. The email address shows my Deanna@sassygirlmedia.com. It doesn't change it to make it look like it won't have like some verbiage and then like constantcontact.com. It hides it so that it looks like it comes from me, which helps not going into a spam filter or folder when that happens. So I really like that about that. And it also, you are able to use texting as well. So I can send out text messages if I choose to. I have a client who is under me with Constant Contact. She came on board and she does use the texting quite a bit. And it really works for her. So it's a super cool platform. There is a 60-day free trial. If you are interested in testing it out, you get 60-day free trial. I can send you a link. Just reach out to me and let me know. 30-day guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can bail and they will give you back the money. It is also, if you do come on board, I will set up your template newsletter for you. The very first one, there's no cost to doing that. And you actually, because you're going through me as a partner, you can come right to me and ask your questions. So if you've got a question about something, you just reach out. I can get it answered. If I can't, I have a rep that responds immediately. So we can get those answers for you. So I'm going to open it up to see if anybody has any questions. If anybody does, I'm going to open up the chat. over here, please feel free to ask your questions. All right, so it looks like we're done. If you guys have questions after oh, good, here's a question. What is the best way to organize your contacts with tags? You can definitely do tags. So if I do it a few different ways, right? So I have a couple different contact lists, and it depends where those names came from, right? So one contact group actually is it's a group that I got from the chamber. I kind of regret using that list to a point. I don't totally regret it. I just wish I had known what I know now. I would have done it differently, but I have that in one group. I have another group where people have actually signed on through my website. And then, of course, I've got groups of people who've come to my workshop and a group for the Entrepreneur Society. So the Entrepreneur Society has always kind of in their own group, but I do use tags, the other ones, when I put them into my general, I will use a tag to remind me where they came from or what they're about. And then I also use segments. So I think it's the third week. Don't quote me on that. We're going to talk more about all of that, and I will go into more detail about the way we'll organize the contacts. But to do a general, I definitely think you need to keep your contacts organized, because I did not do that in the beginning with the chamber list. And I combined the chamber and I combined people who signed up on the site without tags or segmentation, and I'm kicking myself now for it. So hopefully my mistake will be your success, because I can show you on how not to make the same mistake that I made. But we will definitely be going more into detail about that later. But yes, you definitely want to keep them all organized. But thank you for asking. If you have any other questions, reach out to me. My email address is right there. Of course, you guys are in the Entrepreneur Society. Feel free to ask questions in there as well. And I will definitely answer them, but reach out to me. And I just want to say thank you for joining in. And if you need anything, you know how to find me. So enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your day. What is this? You're welcome. Thank you.